Wait a second. I forgot to do the intro. Okay, we're back to another live Thursday show. I'm a little bit out of it. Not feeling the best today. It's been a week. I haven't gotten much done. I'll tell you that much. I did hook the throttle cable up in the Nova. That's about it. Tested the wideband, made sure that the wideband that's installed was not working. So I got to crawl underneath there. Do all that stuff. But it's just been snowing. We got like a foot in the last week and a half at the most. They're expecting another 6 to 9 inches. There's just no driving the Nova anytime soon. It makes me want to cry. But what is everybody else up to? I think I might be coming down with something. Cold or something. Congestion. Nah. Well, Andrew, the problem is I've got so many widebands floating around, sensors. I just grabbed one and threw it in, and it may have been a bad one. I don't know. The second one that I hooked up worked. 30 below. John, why would you even want to go into the garage at 30 below? Miserable. Miserable. I see Dad's in here. Hey, Dad. Better batten down the hatches. More ice storms coming. Good old Oklahoma. What up, rock roll? ABT. We're just talking about the weather. We turned this into the weather channel. I honestly don't have much. I haven't done anything this week. Work and clean snow. What's really left to get done on the Smoke Monster? Good question. I got to, well, quite a bit. I got to finish up some interior stuff. Justin and I have to get together and do the roll cage here soon. He's been working on refinishing his house, so whenever he gets done, I don't have a list. I don't do lists. I shoot from the hip. I got all kinds of stuff. I need to pull the springs out of the front and cut half a coil off of them because it's still got the rake on the front end with the big block springs on there. So I need to drop it down a little bit. Then I still need to do all the rear suspension stuff. But I think I'm going to hold off on the rear suspension stuff until I get the 9-inch ordered. Yeah, roll cage is going to be a biggie. Nah, just winging it. Honestly, I'm getting ready to bolt the seats back in just so I can drive it once the snow melts out. Because I want to take it down the road with the 308s that's in there. See what's going on there with that gear ratio. See how it does before I order a pumpkin for the 9-inch. When's the Super Auto getting dynoed? Josh, the Super Auto will be back to the garage pretty soon after the Nova gets running again. So, once it gets running again, I need to bring the Super Auto back. I need to pull the bed off of it. I need to redo the axle on it for the 4-link. I'll go over all that whenever I go through the process. And then, whenever I get that done, we'll get it on the dyno. I had plans on getting it on the dyno last year, but we just destroyed it too many times. We were scheduled to go down to the dyno, then I blew the motor, fixed the motor. We were scheduled to go to the dyno again and ended up going to the track and ripping the axle out of it. Lux Restoration. How do you grow an automotive related channel? Tricks and tips, please. It's hard. I'll be honest with you. You've got to find kind of a niche in order to grow in, because there's so many people doing so many different things that it's easy to get lost in the shuffle. And mine was more by blind luck, by just trying to share some tuning information. The intent was never to necessarily grow the garage to what it is today, but we have a great fan base of people that are interested in learning stuff. Am I going to show the dyno portion of the tuning? You know, Andrew, we might touch on a little bit of timing adjustment on the dyno. That's the only thing that I think really has a lot of benefit that you can't do on the street. So, what up, TJ? Oh, Ryan asks, how does water meth injection affect stoic? Target is 78 liters before injecting. Would you still aim? Yes, Ryan. So effectively what you're doing is offsetting some of the fueling from your injectors by running water methanol injection. So you still want to target the same thing. And what you'll see specifically on the MAF curve is whenever you... That's why if you watch some of my videos on water methanol injection, I harp on setting up the water methanol injection and then never touching it again. You want those settings to remain consistent. That way you can go in and dial in your MAF and your VE table for the offset that the additional water and methanol is going in there. False knock can occur everywhere, Cole. You've just got to do some work to see if you can figure out if it is actually false. Pull a little timing, see if it stays consistent. Up the octane, see if it stays consistent. If it does, then you can go into desensitizing. Different ohm fuel gauges be programmed to read correctly with an E38 ECM. Jonathan, I don't think that they can. I think that, and in fact, I run a unit on the truck that changes the input ohm range to a different output ohm range specifically for that. 3SGT Lux, I do not know anybody in the Mitsubishi world. Sorry, brother. Oh, well, I'm glad you made it, biker boy. Congrats on the new job. Dyno can be good for volumetric efficiency, for being able to adjust load, things like that. Well, that shows you how much I know. 3SGTE sounds like a Mitsubishi motor for some reason. But you can tune it, man. It's all the same process. Air, fuel, spark. Dig into it. Figure out how the tables work. Chevy gang in here. There might be a few Ford guys. Silica turbo and MR2 turbo engine. Gotcha. I like the MR2s. I like the Silica turbos. Do long-term fuel trims change with colder weather? They sure can, Rockroll. So there's two different things going on here with colder weather. Colder weather is going to change your mass of your air, so your mass airflow sensor should pick up the additional mass of air. Now, volumetric efficiency, it doesn't quite work that way, but there is temperature compensation to help with volumetric efficiency. But that being said, that's where the long terms really shine, is to be able to help. You shouldn't see significant shifts by any means. Fun fact, Toyota used the 3S GTE in the GT500 Supras. Did not know that. The last Japanese motors I worked on were EJ25s, and before that was a I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank. 13B REW. 13 Brew. Buddy bought a cammed Gen 353 Silverado. Had a stock tune and a drilled throttle body. Probably no reason for that. Got the idle and tune dialed, but I don't have a great startup. Any tips on help the startup? Yeah, driving with Drew. Check out the cranking volumetric efficiency table. Should have a cranking VE table. What is the parameter called for adjusting the fuel level for difference? Jonathan, I don't think there is a parameter. Blah, blah, blah. Moto Brewmaster brings up a good point. Imagine the winter fuel also does not help cold weather tuning. Correct. Yeah. You know it, Jason. I had a 94 RX-7. I was all about that rotary life till I blew the motor. In fact, whenever I got rid of my RX-7 is whenever I got the GTO, and that's whenever I really transitioned into domestics. Knock retard happening at 52. Well, at 52,000 RPMs. I'm guessing that you're just meaning 5,000 RPMs. And then again at 0.6 cylinder air mass, but none at max cylinder air mass. Cole, make sure that your burst knock's zeroed out. Could be burst knock that you're getting into, which is just anticipation of knock. Going from my old carb nitrous race build to the Terminator X Twin Turbos. Is the Holley stuff compatible with the 16 volt system? Fun. I do not know if it is or not. If the Dominator in HP, probably so. Now the Terminator, there's a good question. I'm looking right now. Terminator may not be. Might have to go with the Dominator. Where are you at, voltage inputs? Yeah, I don't know without going too far off the rails. I would call them fun. Call them and ask. That's going to be your easiest way. Jason, O2 wideband before or after the turbos? How close? After the turbos, before the turbos, there's too much heat. How close? The big thing is that you can get some latency, some delay if it's too far away. You want it a little ways downstream of the turbo because all that stuff's really hot. That RX-7 tried to kill me so many times. What up, DZ? MK, what's going on, brother? Basic Gen 5 question. Is torque tuning necessary for headers intake on an LT4? Probably not, Robert. Probably not. You're not going to be so far outside of the factory torque parameters to really have much issues. Just, Robert, watch your throttle position. So go in and log throttle position, the non-SAE version, and make sure that your throttle positions are going all the way up. Oh yeah, Boosted Coyote. I do have a coupon for HP tuners. It is going to be a free t-shirt and free shipping if you're shipping something for $50 or more. So if you spend $50 or more, you can get a free HP Tuners t-shirt. And the way that it works, I'm glad you brought that up. Let me do this. Let's just try this out. I have not tested this out. This just happened like in the last day or so. So if you were to go into products, we'll just say we'll add the pro feature set. And this will work for credits too. Oh, well, we can't do that one because we're not going to put my serial number in right now. We'll just do an MPVI2. Blah, 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 blah. Let's add 2 features. Add to cart. So the way it works is after you've added something to your cart, you can come over to the merchandise, go down to a t-shirt. I'm a fan of these. Really like these t-shirts. I'm going to put a large in here. Boom. So now if we go over to our cart and we type in the code GRGarage, boom, there it is. Takes the price of the shirt out, so you get a free shirt. And it said, if you end up buying credits, it'll work with that. So anything over 50 bucks, show some love, get a free t-shirt. Thanks to HP Tuners for hooking us up with that. And I will talk more about that in the next upcoming video whenever we look at some stuff. Craig, have you ever played with the Arduino or Raspberry Pi to make custom gauges? I have not, but I've got a guy at work that is doing it on he's swapping in one of the little turbo motors out of a Mustang into his Volvo, I believe. And he's running it all off a Raspberry Pi. Whenever he gets that done, maybe I can go over to his house, check it out, and shoot a video for it. Good question, Joshua. Should the knock sensitivity be dialed in before tuning the timing? No. You want to look at that. If you have knock before you start tuning the timing, then maybe you do need to do some adjustments. If you if like on a stock or a reduced timing table you're getting into knock, then yeah, probably so. What's the shirt sizing? Somebody asked me on that. Large into LS, large is like a normal large. It fits pretty good for a large. It's not one of those like tight body small larges. Yeah, I'll get that coupon code updated in the description of the videos here in the next couple days. So if you ever need to find it, you can just be able to go to any video and it'll be in there. Yeah, if you're updating to the Pro, if you're spending more than $50 on HP Tuner's website, use the code and you'll get a free shirt. Hey, Hillary, good to see you. I haven't seen you on here for a while. I see DZ all the time. Uh, 15 Silverado wants to turbo it. Jim, I'm not sure who all is making turbo kits for the Silverados. I'm sure there's some guys in here that know. But I have been so out of the loop on turbos because I really haven't done much turbo stuff in so long. Let me know what you think about it, the Raspberry Pi stuff. I'd be interested. I figured on 3 probably was the one to go with. Armageddon's probably expensive, isn't it? Compared to on 3. Are there any ways to unlock the Dodge 2015 ECUs other than Bitbox? Short of that, sending it into some place like HP Tuners. Not that I know of, Ibrahim. 10 G's for a turbo kit. Man, that seems excessive. Tell them to go supercharger. Put a Pro Charger on there, man. Or a Whipple. Be cheaper than 10 G's. Rick, there is not a pillar pod that I've researched for the Nova. And I'll tell you why. The main reason being is that I've got 2 digital gauges now. I've got the Holly gauge and the AEM. And I've got the Holly interface for the AEM digital dash. So I think I'm going to actually, I might mount both up for a small time and play around with both and see which one I like. Now the AEM one is not touchscreen, so it's got a downside to it, but it's a lot smaller. So I think it'd look better mounted on the steering column. Comcan's got the new oilless turbos. Brandon, did I not do a knock sensor video for the Terminator X on the Cadillac? I will. I have knock sensors for the Nova. I have not figured out where I'm going to install them yet, so keep your eyes peeled. I will get into that, though. But I thought I did one for the Cadillac. Oh, that's a lot better price then. $3,500 for the on 3. That makes sense. J Mike asks, any issues with the Terminator X file and plugs out? I don't think so. Not that I've seen. I've not had any issues with it. But it's just all in, making sure you got good closed loop wideband settings on there. Have a good one, TJ. Good to see you. That is correct, Jerry. HP Tuners does do a deal Also, if you buy the MPVI2, I think they'll do the unlock for free. So, both ways. 2011 Sierra 1562. Paid to have remote tune. Not me. I would have remembered if it was me. I have a misfire lean spot. Cruising close throttle when I let off cruising highways. Thought it was DSCO wrong. Misfire, lean spot, cruising. When you let off cruising highway speeds. Jordan, there could be a lot of things going on there, man. Hey, Mike. Oh, sorry to hear about the phone, Hillary. Still working on getting the Yukon up and race ready. Anything you'd recommend? I don't know. Tell me more about the build. I know DZ has talked about it a little bit. Into LS. We're spraying meth into the blower to get better distribution cooling to the cylinders. HTV 2300. I don't know if it will on a twin screw LS. I know on centrifugals and turbos, you generally don't want to spray upstream of the blower, but they're moving a lot more RPMs, and it'll actually erode the tips of the impellers. But on that style, I don't know. I don't think it'll make a difference. For a twin charge setup, would a root style or twin screw supercharger be preferable for a twin charge? So going turbo to supercharger, probably. But don't quote me because I'm by no means an expert. I just did it for fun with the turbo into the centrifugal, and it was very, very, very stupid. Uncontrollable power. Gabriel, watch your video. Am I able to add an AEM wideband using without the pro features? Yes. What you'll want to do is get a serial to USB setup, you know, off of Amazon. They're like $10, and it'll allow you to use the serial output from your AEM wideband and tie it back into your scanner software that way. John says, I decided to take a bag of money and shove it under the hood of my Chevelle, slam it shut, and hope for the best. It's pretty much what I've done. I just wish that it would put my interior back together for me. What up, Pontiac Firebird? Got a 5.3 standard bore, flat top piston, BTR torque, truck cam, had it tuned by two different guys, only getting 10 miles per gallon. Can you help? Yeah, your tune's not good, Mike. I could help, but you could do it yourself, man. It's not that hard. Awesome, Brandon. It's amazing how easy those things are to set up. Get the heat gun fired up and shape your pillar pods. JC Hare, yes. Right click on it and there is a polling time on there. Update that polling time. Probably by default, the EGR input is on a slower poll rate. You want to go to a faster poll rate. Yeah, Jordan, that's what the Patreon's there for. Meth upstream would remove the Teflon coatings of the LSA. Interesting. But if you say that, now that you say that, I think if you look at all the direct meth injection heads or plates for those setups are injecting after it comes out of the blower and goes down the intake tube. So that's probably going to be your best bet. So what was it like turbo to blower? Well, specifically because I ran two turbos on there, and the small turbo was the most fun because it was creating a lot of boost on the bottom end with the small turbo, and I think it was actually strangling the supercharger on the top end. So it was very boost happy on the bottom end. Well, and I'm trying boosted. You're right. The interior never goes. I hate pulling the interior out. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to mount the Kirky seats in the car with the roll cage. And I think I'm going to have tubes bit and run some rocker bars to do it. Uh-oh. Did you guys lose me? I think I fell off the face of the planet. Let me double check. Okay, I'm back now. It's always something with the garage. Okay. Hey, dirt floor. Ryan says I'm going to spray before the blower anyways. Send it. Gen 4 E38. Idle smooth 30 seconds, then rough for 30 seconds. Repeat. AFR looks good when smooth and not when rough. Ted, that's very interesting. Shoot me a log of that if you could. I'd be interested to see what's going on. Oh, I literally saw a thing that popped up and said that there was an error on the stream. I know, Andy. You can't have me gone for longer than 30 seconds, right? I hope you didn't break down and cry this time. Installed a gear vendors behind the Glide Pro charged BBC for a customer. They're pretty sweet units. I've been looking at them, Rich. I would need to look into them more as far as what kind of controls that they have on them and use the ECU to tune them. But definitely interested in them. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to try and fit one on the Nova before Rocky Mountain Race Week. Schmidhead, I feel your pain every time I try to go in and buy belts. Doesn't matter for what car it seems like. Well, what car do you have? Well, trust me, I just need a 41-inch belt. Up here it's been in the 20s. So it's not been bad. A lot of snow. Well, I finally have gotten to a first name basis with most of the guys and girls at my local parts place, so they know if I'm coming in to get something that it is not going to be something crazy. When you swap to a manual transmission tune, does it get rid of torque management? Well, yeah, it gets rid of the transmission torque management, but you still have the engine side on the 5th gen stuff. Haha, Vince. Oh, thanks, Shane. Have a nitrous purge. Appreciate the support. -10. Ugh. One piece at a time, right, John? Jordan, you'll get a email. Gives you details where to send your questions and stuff. So stay posted. I'll try and get it sent out to you after the live stream, which is about to wrap up because it's already 8:30, and I'm going to bed because I feel like crap. But if you guys did not catch it, we did an impromptu last Saturday. So, I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling this Saturday. Maybe we can do another impromptu. Had a blast. InTune tried to launch an A10 under full power in 2nd or 3rd gear. You know, Mike, I don't think it should be that much of an issue because guys are doing it all the times on the 6 and 8 speeds. And the 2nd gear on the A10 surely shorter than 2nd gear on the 6 speed, right? So very straightforward. There's one solenoid. It's got an external speed sensor driven off the speedo cable and activate on-off switch and a manual auto switch. Yeah, so there'd be a way that you could do some cool stuff with it, Rich. You trust me, if I get one installed, we'll look at some of that stuff. Yeah, I know it's 7:30 for you, Jerry. That's my bedtime 7:30. I've been up too long. I got 1500s showing up tomorrow for the Nova, so we can do an E85 conversion on it. Moto, there is no way to know when I do an impromptu show. That's why it's impromptu. I just decide, hey, I'm going to jump online real quick. Okay, listen, you guys. I want to thank everybody as always for stopping by. You guys are the best. Always make my Thursday night, even whenever I don't feel good jumping on here. So happy to see you guys. So you know the drill. ABT. Always be tuning.